Do you have difficulties trying to cultivate a good studying habit or probably learning independently? If you have such problems, then this video is definitely for you. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Idypat. Just in case this is the first time watching my videos, you're welcome. So in today's video, I'll be giving you guys 8 tips on how to be an independent learner. Without much further ado, let us just jump right into the video. So please forgive my look. I just got back from school and I got the motivation to literally do this video. I wanted to shoot this video yesterday, but I was unable to. So forgive this mess and yeah. Tip number 1, try your possible best to study even when you do not feel like studying. Now this is a very huge problem when it comes to medical students or students in general. Why? Because sometimes we just want to rest, we just want to sleep, we just want to watch Netflix, we just want to watch YouTube videos or do something outside of studying. And trust me, I have zero motivations to study at times, but I try my possible best to study even when I do not feel like. Most of the times, if I have an exam, I do not feel comfortable sleeping or probably doing something aside studying, knowing that I have an exam the next day or a few days ahead. And the one thing that I feel like most students do have is we do have this mentality that, oh, I'm not the one paying my school fees, or probably I still have time to study, so I can always procrastinate or do something else. Now when you have this kind of mentality or this kind of mindset that you're not the one that paid the school fees, or you can always do something later on, you tend to procrastinate and end up not doing it. If you really want to be a good student and an excelling student, you should learn to leave your comfort zone. You should learn to do things even when you do not feel like doing it, but for the fact that you know that at the end of the day I am going to get these results, then I have to put in the effort, I have to put in time and work in order to get this results. So try your possible best to study, try to have a schedule even when you do not feel like doing it, but for the fact that you know at the end of the day the result or the outcome of it is going to be something great. Let that be your motivation, let that be what keeps you going. So try to study even when you do not feel like studying. Tip number 2 is believe you can be more intelligent. Now I love to have a debating conversation with people, I love to have a non-conflicting argument with people, and I love to listen to people's opinion. And I got to realize that a couple of people believe that intellect is more of genetics, and that there's some people that won't even study and they're very smart, and there's some people that would study and they're still smart. And most people give themselves, or most students give themselves this excuse that no matter how I study, I'm not gonna get it. I can't get an A in pharmacology or an A in anatomy. Why? Because I don't have intellect in my gene. I mean, my dad and my mom are not Albert Einstein or something. I feel this is an excuse we give for being lazy, and this is an excuse to actually limit ourselves. Something like super duper intelligent. I believe that people that get A's in a particular course or in a particular subject, in as much as they tell you I don't study, I just know this thing, it's all a lie. They put in effort, they put in the work, they put in time. Trust me, these people study 18 hours a day, these people study 12 hours a day. So you might end up seeing them not studying in the day, but they wake up at night to study. Honey, they study to know pharmacology. No one was born with the knowledge of drugs. No one was. Don't get me wrong, I am not saying that genetics doesn't play a role when it comes to intellect, but when you give yourself this excuse, you're just limiting yourself. You're just making an excuse to fail a particular exam, or you're just making an excuse to be lazy. Just forget about it and study. 3, be willing to read outside your school course material. Now I am currently a 4th year medical student, and ever since my 2nd or 3rd year in med school, my school do give us PDF files to study. We get books from the library to study, and I'm just gonna tell you guys, of course it's good to study what your school gives to you, but you are just limiting your knowledge to basically the material that your school gives to you. Try to download textbooks online, try to watch YouTube videos, try to interact with other medical students and get materials from them. Just expand your knowledge, expand your world. Do not just focus on, oh, you know, my school gave me this textbook, so I'm just going to study this PDF file and that is it. This is where my knowledge is. And if your teacher asks you a question and you don't know, you're like, oh, it's not in the textbook. But I believe as a medical student, you're supposed to make research. You're supposed to try to read something outside of your school material. I am going to give you guys a couple of tips. For me, I mainly use emedicine, and this video is not sponsored, so I'll just put it in the description box. If you type in emedicine on Google, you're going to find different specialties in medicine, and they literally explain almost every single thing. I have used this website ever since my 3rd year, and it has really helped me, most especially for medical students. It is really helpful. They have virtually everything you need: etiology, pathophysiology, mechanism of action, etc. And most of the times when I'm kind of a little bit lazy to read, most especially if there's a lot of things to study for, I would definitely watch a YouTube video. So I'm going to give you guys 2 of my favorite YouTubers in which I love their videos so much. Why? Because they draw while explaining, and I really do love drawing and explanation. The first one is Osmosis, which I'm going to link his video in the description box, and the second one is Armando, sorry if I can't pronounce the name, the link is in the description box. So please try to expand your world, try to expand your knowledge. Do not just restrict yourself to just what your school gives to you to study, okay? Tip number 4 is know when to seek help. Now, I don't know if this is pride or you're being shy, but I'm just gonna tell you that you can't know it all. You're not the smartest, you can't know it all. Try your possible best to seek help from your classmates. Try your possible best to seek help from your teachers as well. Do not feel shy to ask questions. I understand it's better you ask the question and everyone laughs at you, and at the end of the day you have that knowledge, than for you to just feel like you know it but you don't know anything. So do not be shy to ask questions, and do not feel that you know too much, that you can't ask someone, oh, because I don't know the answer to this explanation, that means no one in my class has the answer. Do not feel that way. Just try your possible best to bring yourself down to ask questions. From asking questions, you get to learn a whole lot. So know when to seek help. Do not feel shy, do not feel too proud to ask your teachers or classmates or someone in a higher class for help. So the next point is try not to be a last minute person. I'm not even sure I should be the one making this video, because that is what I'm good at, and study the night before a particular class, and for me to study weeks before the class. I mean, if it's not an exam, I can't study weeks for it, because in med school we tend to study every single day, and every single day you get a grade in my school. So I would rather wait for that night, the night before the class, to study than for me to study a lot. And I'm going to use pharmacology for instance. Now, you know, in pharmacology you are supposed to study a couple of drugs, know the mechanism of action, indication, etc. But you rather keep this bulk of work till the night before the class. You start studying, right? And of course, you're trying to cover up a lot of things. You tend to forget, number 1, you tend to forget a lot of things. But 2, everything feels like it's a whole lot. You tend to hear the students say, oh my God, I mean, this is too much. I mean, the material is so bulky. How do they expect us to know all of this, blah, blah, blah. I mean, you would have been better off if you had studied few weeks back or few days before the day of the class. Like, try your possible best to, you know, divide the work into different smaller groups, and then study this particular group of drugs, and study this one, and study this one. Then the night before the class you can revise and you know everything. Then for you to wait for the day before the class, then you study it and everything is all bulky and you just start complaining, I am guilty of this, I am guilty of this. But I'm gonna try my possible best to change, and I'm hoping this video is gonna, I don't know, motivate or inspire somebody. Next point is try new techniques. I think most students find it very difficult trying to understand themselves and understanding how their brain works, their ability and capability. Like, sometimes you find a student that can study for 2 hours and they get all the material. They just study once, they get it right. Some students study 12 hours before they can get it right. Some study 5 or 6 times, some study 2 times or 3 times. Now, learn to understand yourself, and if you study once and it doesn't work out for you, try a different technique. I'll take myself for instance. Before, I would come back from school, then I would study, then sleep, then wake up and go to class. But I got to realize in my first year, second year, that when I go to class, if I did not revise that stuff, then I wouldn't know anything, because it's like it was all in a dream and I can't remember anything. So I decided to change my technique of studying. I would come home, relax, watch a movie, then sleep. Then I wake up by 2 a.m. in the morning and I'll study till 6 o'clock. And from 6, I would just drink coffee, dress up and go to school. That is how I literally study. And for me, I tend to retain a whole lot of knowledge or memory when I actually use this technique. You see, I tried something the first time, it didn't work out for me, then I tried the next thing. So do not like limit yourself and be, okay, no, well, I study 2 hours a day and or 4 hours a day and I'm not able to get this material, so that's it, I'm not trying again. No, I'm not trying again, I'm done with school. No, if you try and it doesn't work out, please try something else. Do not like give up because it's one thing is not working. I mean, if one method is not working, you should always have a plan B, right? Okay, try your possible best to watch as many YouTube videos as possible. I'm not gonna stress much on this. I'll just leave the name of my favorite YouTubers in the description box and the link to their videos. Just check it out and I promise you will not regret it. Going over to the last point, try to learn more and memorize less. Like, I understand being a student is kind of difficult, it's challenging, you have your ups and downs, but try to understand certain things. Most especially if you're a medical student, try your possible best to understand how this thing works, how your body reacts to it. I mean, what does it do to your body, rather than memorize the whole thing. Because trust me, if you're just in your first year and you're already memorizing, before you get to your 6th year med school, you would have a whole lot to memorize and your brain is going to explode. Like, try to understand certain things. I understand drugs you can memorize. There's some subjects that I do memorize, and trust me, if you ask me today to tell you what I learned or what I can't remember anything. Why? Because I have taken that out of my mind and I'm trying to create space for new information. So try to understand the basics rather than cramming it and just doing it just for the marks. Try your possible best to learn and understand things rather than memorizing it. That is it, guys. I hope this video was quite helpful. Let me know if you have a different studying or learning technique in the comment section. I am really open to learning new things from you guys, and you could also comment so that other students seeing this could actually learn 1 or 2 things from you. Let me know if you agree with me, or if you don't agree with me, just put it in the comment section, and I'm hoping to do more of med school videos with you guys. Thank you very much for watching my videos. Do not forget to give my video a like, thumbs up, comments, subscribe, share this video with your friends, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.